By the way, do you know what time it is?
I'm not doing that.
You're not doing that?
No, I'm not doing that.
Live from the Olympics, it's Paris Tonight!
Paris Tonight is brought to you by Smartwater.
Yeah, the hips and I can't hit the 12:34. Holy crap. Max from the Arkells.
Hey, what's happening?
What are you doing here, my man?
Oh, we just came to play some songs for the Olympians.
This is amazing. I was just listening to the Arkells.
Oh.
I'm a huge fan.
Well, thank
A
you.
great Canadian band.
Yeah, I appreciate
How are you?
I'm
I'm
doing
Ariel.
good. Oh yeah, nice to meet you.
We've been here for like the past 10 days. Did you just get here?
Yeah, I mean, we just got home 2 days ago, but we've been watching all the coverage back home.
Oh, wow.
CBC's been doing a hell of a job. Even the digital side's been incredible.
Yes, the digital side.
Yeah.
Have you been enjoying Paris Tonight? Paris Tonight, it's like this show they've been going to like Moulin Rouge and doing interviews, fun stuff, the can.
Yeah. I love Paris, Tonight Paris?
Yeah,
Paris Tonight? Okay.
Wow,
Yeah, I love that one. Yeah.
All right, I'm just an intern here. I just
intern. Oh,
help
you're
out.
just getting your start?
Yeah, just starting
cool.
in the
Helping
biz.
with the crew and
I
everything?
work, with some of the boxes and clean up and stuff like that.
Oh, cool. Well,
so.
every bit counts.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, great.
Take care,
Okay,
man.
back
Take
to
care.
work here, yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I'll see you later.
Think about you all the time, and I can't get you off my mind.
By the way,
They
sorry to
only
bother you.
knew-
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because actually my time here at the Olympics is coming to an end because the Olympics are ending on Sunday.
There's an
I'm
internship
unemployed.
position? Oh.
I'm unemployed as of Monday.
Oh, okay.
And it seems like you have some empty, spots here.
Yeah.
I'm actually a musician in my previous life.
Oh,
and so I was
okay.
wondering if I could maybe help out with the band, like. I could be a roadie, I could be a merch guy, a host perhaps.
Oh, well,
or-
actually, the head of hiring he is our production manager
Okay.
here. You can send him a resume if you'd
Okay,
like.
maybe I have also this instrument from our friends
you-
at Smartwater.
Oh.
I can help out.
So you're a musician?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You can kiss at 11.
Okay. I do like your choreography. Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah. We can consider for sure.
Yeah.
Greetings from Bercy Arena, site of men's basketball quarterfinal action and site of the biggest game for Canadian men's basketball in 24 years. You know, my friends, sports history has a funny way of repeating itself. Back in the year 2000, Sydney Games, that's the last time the Canadian men made it to the Olympics. They went on a magical run. They made it all the way to the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, that Steve Nash-led team, they were ousted by France. 16 years later was the next chance to make it to the Olympics. They got oh so close. Last qualifying spot for the Rio Games. One spot left. They met another team. They lost. That team, France. And so here we are, 8 years later. And by the way, on that team in 2016, there was a young teenager from Toronto who didn't play much. He was on the bench. His name, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's back, leading this squad to the quarterfinals after a magical run in the group stage. And who do we meet? France. But this time, the stakes have been raised. We're playing them in France. It's going to be like 99% pro-France in there. I can't wait to experience it. I'm so nervous. If you could just feel my palms, they are so sweaty, I can hardly hold this microphone. And so I feel like I need to represent for Team Canada, for all the Canadians back home who are just as nervous as me. Before we get to that, let me tell you what else is happening on this program. Kylie Moss, she had a phenomenal Olympic Games. In fact, her third straight Olympic Games where she wins a medal. This time, it was a bronze. We'll talk to her about that great feat. We'll also update you on all things athletics with our guy, Devin Haru, and we'll set the stage for semifinal action after all the action goes down here at this arena. Okay, I need to get dressed. Remember when I went to Columbia House and I got dressed in my Canadian gear? Let's do it again. Big game tonight.
Yeah, big game. Everything on Wembley, of course.
Think France is in trouble? So come on our side. Come on our side. Come. You want to root for Canada?
I can't.
The winning team.
My passport is the French one, so I can't come on Canada's side.
I would say good luck to you, but I don't mean it.
We don't need luck. We need good referees, and maybe we have a chance.
How confident are you going into this game?
Not a lot.
Oh, really? Wow. No confidence at all.
No confident.
Are you confident heading into this match? Huge matchup.
Not at all, no.
Not at all.
No, no.
Where's the confidence?
He's gone.
Talk about the game to Canadian TV.
No, thank you.
You're actually the first Canadians that we've seen so far. I think we're going to be outnumbered. Are you okay with that?
That's fine. We're gonna win anyways. We're gonna win. Win us.
Okay, I will try to get you a ticket, but you have to root for Canada. What do you say? You have to wear the whole Canadian outfit.
I can.
You'll do that? You'll turn on your country?
You have 2 tickets?
But you look at you, you're
Only
French.
If you have 2 tickets, yes, I can.
You would do that?
Yeah, for sure.
Would you cheer for us?
Yeah, I can.
Our neighbors to the south, what do you think?
I mean, it'd be great to see you guys win, but you got Wemby.
You're rooting for us? You're rooting for us?
50-50.
Come on, we're North American brothers.
True, we are, but Team USA all the way, baby. That's all.
All right, good luck to you. I don't mean it. I don't mean it. You know, 2000 you beat us, 2016 you beat us. It's time for revenge.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Wow, who would have thought all these French people were so nice? Everyone says French people are rude. On the contrary, they're actually very sweet, welcoming, kind. What a revelation.
It's Wemba who? What? What am I talking about? Let's go.
Being,
have Wembanyama. You know?
you know SGA.
Yeah, a little bit.
You got to pick one, man.
Well, I'm French, so I have to be behind France. But realistically, I think Canada.
This is a very French thing to do. You think Canada's going to be better, so you're jumping on the bandwagon. Guess what?
Exactly.
We accept you.
Thank you so much.
Don't let them bully you, all right? Don't let them bully you.
We're gonna beat you, man. We have Wemby, man.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good
luck.
to you too.
I don't mean it. I don't mean it.
I know. Okay. Just tell Dylan to stay quiet.
No one threw anything at me, which was also fantastic. I'm feeling good. I can't believe I'm actually here. We're going to go inside to that arena, and we are going to very quietly, because we're journalists, we can't actually cheer. Quietly support Canada, cheer on the boys.
A few moments later.
Oh man, oh my gosh. I am thoroughly depressed right now. I am so depressed. The vibes were high, confidence was high. In the end, 82-73, France. Again, France, breaking our hearts. Credit to France, credit to the crowd, they were incredible. Credit to their coach, he made adjustments, incredible. And so, in a moment, I'm gonna go back to Canada Olympic House and commiserate with my fellow Canadian basketball fan, Donovan Bennett. But I did run into legendary hoops writer Mark J. Spears of ESPN, and he made me feel a little bit better right outside the arena seconds ago. And so we'll play that conversation, and then it's off to Canada Olympic House to talk to Donovan. I'll see you in a second.
I'm lucky enough to be joined right now. Oh, what a guy. By this big old teddy bear, one of the greatest basketball writers and reporters of all time, the great Mark J. Spears of ESPN, my old colleague.
How you doing, brother?
Not great.
Yeah, I had high hopes for this team, this Canadian team. I actually felt like they were the only team that might make USA nervous. So I think they kind of had figured out that size does matter against Canada. To me, like, that's the one thing that worried me about this team going into this tournament, which is the same thing that ended up destroying USA basketball last year in the World Cup. So offensively, I mean, this team is special, but it just didn't get it going tonight.
Felt like the crowd rattled them as well. You know, these guys have played in some big games, but I just felt like from the jump, they were sort of engulfed by the moment. Did you feel that way?
I don't know that I agree with that. I've seen more raucous.
Man, that was pretty damn raucous. That was like MSG times 10 in
Maybe
there.
my seat was so high I didn't feel like where I was.
Maybe the cheers hit me a little closer.
I think that I have to give their coach, Collet, from France credit, because I think he just made a nice adjustment. You know, he went a little smaller by taking Rudy out. Wemby didn't do anything. Like, if somebody would have told you, what did Wemby finish with? Like, whatever he finished with, would you take that and feel good about it going in? Yeah. Like, you guys let some guy that I don't even remember his name destroy you.
Not even in the NBA. He's playing overseas.
Yeah, and then the guy that used to play for the Celtics. That's how, like, we don't even remember their names. And it just, you know, SGA couldn't get hot. Jamal couldn't get hot. Nobody couldn't get hot. It's just, that's the thing about this game that's scary, an international game. I told my colleague from ESPN, Brian Windhorst, I said, if this was NBA, 48-minute game, Canada would have won. Yeah. But in 40 minutes, man, you can't have a lull like that. And that lull in the beginning, Canada couldn't get out of.
Well, I feel a little better now, so I'm happy that we ran into. It was the hug. It was the hug. I mean, I'm thoroughly depressed. I'm not going to lie. And I had high hopes.
But they
and I
got
was
some watering holes here that can make you feel better.
Yeah. I wanted a medal. 1936 was our last medal in
No,
basketball.
I'm making quickly light of it, but let me digress. This is disappointing for Canada. And I've been paying, very close attention to all the great strides that have been made. This is disappointing. This team should have medaled.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate
Sorry, I
it.
made you worse.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I was up and then I was back down. Going to talk to my colleague Donovan Bennett now about Canada basketball after Mark just made me depressed again, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. And we're back inside a very quiet Canada Olympic House. They say misery loves company, and so that is why I said I need to talk to my guy Donovan. I need to commiserate with the great Donovan Bennett because I'm still not quite over, and I think this one is going to stick with me for a little bit. I'm still not quite over what we witnessed just a couple hours ago now at the Bercy Arena. Shocking stuff, disappointing stuff, depressing stuff, Donovan. Tell me how you're feeling after Canada's loss to France.
Where to start? 42 free throws? Is this what we're doing? 42 the most since 2016, USA versus Serbia. You were in the building. We knew there was going to be a pro France host nation whistle, but that was wild. That was absurd. And now I'm at the point, right? You go through the different stages of grief. I'm at the rage stage, which I don't think is an official stage, but I hate everything French right now. I hate French fries, no. French toast, no. I told my wife, no more French kissing, nothing. Nothing French for at least 48 hours. It sucks because 8,715 days ago, 2000 Olympics, Canada, France. We have 2 NBA players. 24 years later, we've got 10. We are going to beat you down in your own country. We're so much better. And yet we lose to the French again. I'm sick. How are you feeling? You were there.
Oh, I mean, it was torturous. I was feeling like I wanted to crawl in a hole. And the thing is, I just had a bad feeling from the get-go. I did not want this matchup. I didn't want this matchup for 2 reasons. A, their size, and B, the crowd. And I thought the crowd took Canada out of it from the jump. And in fact, there were little things. Like I noticed when the national anthem was being played, the French were all hugging each other. They were singing. They were proud. Canada, it felt like they were like frozen, like they were stiff. No one was singing. No one was into it. And that crowd, I think, just completely knocked Canada off. And I think Canada was just spooked by it. And afterwards, I went on Twitter. And I have to say, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of smart people complain about the refs. That's not my takeaway, man. The refs weren't the problem. Like, those fouls, for the most part, in my opinion, were warranted. They outplayed us. They out-hustled us. They out-rebounded us. They out-everythinged us. Like, everything. We were never in that game. I don't care about the 5 points. I don't care about the 6 points. We were never in that game. We did not show up. And it's hard to stomach because I believe we are a much better team than France. Look at what Wemby did tonight. Gobert was a non-factor. I mean, there were guys who weren't even in the NBA that were killing us. And so it's hard to stomach, but I don't think it's fair to blame the refs. I think we beat ourselves and no one else.
I think both things can be true, which is something I say to my wife, and she says that doesn't make any sense, but I'm going to say it to you, see if it works. Listen, did they out-hustle us? Were they more aggressive? Did they get more paint touches? Did they get all of the loose balls, like all of them? Yes. But also, did they have a parade to the free throw line throughout the entire game? Yes. When you're in the bonus early, that changes how you can defend, changes how aggressive you can be, changes who's on the floor. Thankfully, Frankie Smokes fouled out. I think that was to the benefit of them. I wanted him to stay on the floor. But I could not understand. There was no flow. You understand the fight game, right? Whether it's boxing, MMA, there'll be an understanding of this is the line, and you can't push it. There was no understanding, and so I wasn't sure, is that a foul? Is that not a foul? Is that a charge? Is it a block? Is it a play on? Evidently, it can be a charge and a basket at the same time. I felt like the reason why they were somewhat frozen in play is because they were never sure what is and isn't going to be called, so they couldn't really have the appropriate aggression. I, though, wonder, speaking of appropriate, and you know this because your basketball pod was one of the best listens for me when I was stuck in Toronto traffic. Greg Popovich talks about the appropriate fear of the opponent. And beat France last year, waxed them in exhibition. I wonder if Team Canada came into this game with the appropriate fear of the opponent.
Yeah, it's a great point. It's a great point. And I guess there's a lot of answers that we are still going to be searching for. And one of those answers that I would love to know is Jamal Murray. Like, what happened to Jamal Murray? Who was that guy? I love Jamal Murray. I will always support him. And I was boastfully, saying that like, this is the best backcourt in the Olympics, and we hardly got to see them together. He was coming off the bench. And I just spoke to Mark Spears of ESPN around an hour ago, and he said that maybe coming off the bench kind of like threw him off. I don't know if it's just that, but that's not the same guy that won the NBA title for the Denver Nuggets last year, right? Like, what is your take on what we saw from Jamal Murray? Everything seemed off for him.
Kevin Durant's coming off the bench, and he looks like he's the best player in the Olympics, or second best to LeBron. Jamal Murray's coming off the bench because Jamal Murray has not looked right at all. I'm going to ask you for a wild guess of his numbers, but don't bother because you're never going to guess them. He averaged 6 points per game. 6. He averaged 14% from three. 14% from three with the FIBA line. So I think he was a mixture of mob deep, shook ones, and just physically not himself because there's no bounce, and he was struggling to get past defenders that he would be salivating for normally.
Yeah, like you said, first Olympic berth in 24 years. We lose to France, just like we lost to them in Sydney, just like we lost to him trying to qualify for Rio. Once again, heartbreak in Paris. I'm not the first man, Donovan, to have heartbreak in Paris. But tonight it is a tough one to swallow. It is a tough one to swallow. Thank you for stopping by, and it's nice to commiserate with you. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for making me laugh, because if not for that, I would be crying. So I appreciate you.
Outshine Gold, presented by Lululemon.
It is a privilege to be joined now by one of the greatest Canadian swimmers of all time. Why do I say that? Well, at these games, she became the very first female Canadian swimmer to win a medal in 3 straight Olympic Games. She won her 5th overall. She won a bronze in the 200-meter backstroke. She is Kylie Moss, and she is kind enough to join us right now. Thank you so much for the time. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Has it become like old hat now? Olympics, medals? This is like another day for you.
No, it never gets old. I feel like these moments are so special, and they're what we work towards. I feel like I'm like overwhelmed, but I think over the next couple of days it'll settle in a little bit more, and I can reflect on
You brought your medal with you, although you've tucked it away. Is there a reason for that?
No, I didn't know if I was supposed to have it or not.
Well, you have to wear that. You have to be proud of that.
Okay, here we go.
Not everyone gets that.
True.
It is beautiful.
It is, yes.
I'm wondering, of those 5 medals that you've won, dating back to 2016, is there one particular medal that means the most to you?
I don't think so. I feel like they all mean a lot to me, and I think they all mean different things in the same way. I think like this one feels a little bit more rewarding because I feel like the last couple of years I struggled a bit more on the international scene than I had in the past, and so I feel like I worked through more obstacles and challenges to get this one. And the first one was super special in Rio because I was just like out of nowhere a little bit and surprised myself. So yeah, I don't know, long story short, but they all mean a lot to me, but they also have different significances.
Considering those struggles of the last couple of years, how was your confidence heading into these games?
Yeah, fortunately I had a pretty good trials, which was back in May, back in Canada. So up until then I was definitely struggling a little bit, but after trials I finally felt like myself in the water again, which it had been some time. So just to feel that again was enough confidence for me leading into the summer. And I was really just trying to ride that wave.
There's been so much talk obviously about Canadian swimmers. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like it's kind of like a rising tide lifts all boats now, that everyone's up their game because everyone wants to, be a part of the success?
100%. I think that's how it works, and I think that's why we've seen such incredible success in this program, is that when you're surrounded by amazing people doing amazing things, it only makes you want to be better and pushes you to be better. So when we have that culture here in our program, and I know now the momentum will keep rolling.
Final question. If we would have talked prior to the 2016 games and I would have asked you like, hey, like what do you want to get out of your Olympic experience and what do you expect of yourself? How do you think this is all going to turn out? Would 5 medals have been something you have said, or have you exceeded your expectations?
I think I've exceeded my expectations for sure. I never would have imagined, I think even being here in Paris, like I feel like Rio and then in Tokyo, I kind of contemplated if I would continue or not, but you know, the next day is never guaranteed and I try to never take anything for granted. So yeah, I wouldn't have predicted 5 medals, but I'm extremely proud of myself for just sticking with it and continuing to fight.
You should be. We are proud of you as well. Congratulations. Enjoy everything that comes with this yet again, and looking forward to seeing what's next for you.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go from bronze to gold. And you know, back on Sunday night, au Stade de France, it was a golden night for Team Canada. Now, 2 days later, feels a bit like deja vu all over again. And the man to tell us all about it is the hardest working man at these Olympics, our own Devin Haru. Devin, great to see you again. Great to talk to you again. So tell us, I was at basketball thoroughly depressed. I was soaking my sorrows in the back. What did I miss? Because it seemed like I missed some history au Stade de France.
Well, I share in your sorrow, and I know a lot of Canadians were, but man, did we get a boost here at Stade de France once again. Ariel, we are officially a hammer-throwing nation, and you know I cover curling, so when I get to talk about the hammer, I'm thrilled. A hammer of a different kind. 25-year-old Camryn Rogers out of Richmond, British Columbia, becoming the first Canadian woman ever to be crowned Olympic champion in this sport. She's just the third Canadian woman or group of women to win Olympic gold. A little bit of a history lesson for you. Canada women also winning gold in 1928. Ethel Catherwood of Saskatoon in 1928 in the high jump, and the women's 4x100 team winning gold. And now Camryn Rogers, 96 years later, absolutely rocketing a throw to gold. And you know, it was so much different than Ethan Katzberg. He came out here on Sunday night. It was one and done. He broke the hearts of his competitors. Camryn Rogers had to dig deep here tonight. It was her 5th of 6 throws, Ariel, that sent her rocketing to the top of the podium. Her parents absolutely elated, and absolute joy from Camryn Rogers. I don't know if you'll ever find a more genuine smile than the one she had here tonight, lighting up the City of Light.
I love it. I love everything about it. I love the way you paint those pictures. Speaking of her parents and her mom in particular, I saw you tweeted about a special necklace that she wears each and every time Camryn competes. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. I first met Sherry Rogers, Camryn's mom, back in Langley, British Columbia at one of the Canadian National Championships. Camryn was just sort of learning the ropes, learning all about this sport, and you could tell how proud Sherry was of her daughter. The two have been together through it all, and Sherry shared a story with me that when Camryn was 7 years old, she gave her a locket, a photo, or, you know, ingrained on it was a photo of a mother and a daughter. And ever since that time, Sherry has had that necklace around her neck, and when Camryn competes, she clutches it. You can imagine she was clutching it with sweaty palms here tonight. In fact, Ariel, she won't even watch the throw. She covers her head in her hands, clutching the necklace. I can't imagine a mother's love like you see from Sherry Rogers. And at the end of it, Ariel, she texted me right before Camryn came right here to speak to me, and she said, "Camryn is my greatest joy." So you can imagine what this moment was for the two of them. Camryn made her debut in Tokyo. Her mom couldn't be there. I was texting Sherry throughout all of it tonight. She is here for her daughter's crowning moment. Spectacular.
Amazing. Delighted for them. By the way, heading into these games, what did you think as far as Canada's chances were in this particular event? Like, were you expecting this? Were you expecting maybe 1 gold? What were you thinking?
I thought we were going to have a Canadian double-double. I predicted this all along. They were the two defending world champions, Ariel, going into this. And you know what's a beautiful thing to see, and this is what's crystallized over my 4th games, is that the magic of the Olympics is an athlete's ability to meet the moment under the greatest pressure. That, to me, is what the Olympics is about. And what we have seen in the hammer throw competition is Ethan Katzberg, 22 years old, Camryn Rogers, 25 years old, meet the moment. And it is such a special thing. They were projected to win. They were the heavy favorites. We know at the Olympics anything can happen. And so to be able to have their best when they needed their best, to me, is really quite an incredible feat. And it was so fun watching the country learn hammer throw, figuring it out as we go. I've always said every 4 years at the Summer Olympics, Canadians become experts in sports they've never seen before. And I'll tell you what, we better start learning the hammer throw because we are the best in the world at it now.
Well, I'm glad we get to end with you, Devin. Your enthusiasm is infectious, and we may have started the night on a bit of a sour note, but we end the night with some incredible news and another gold medal. Well done. Thank you so much for the time, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Thank you, Ariel.
And with that, Canada is up to 18 medals total, good enough for 11th place. And also, good news, new streak has begun. So that is very exciting. All right, time to wrap up this roller coaster of a day here in Paris. Time for my Paris Tonight podium. You know my 3 favorite moments of the day: bronze, silver, gold. The first one, obviously bronze. Not necessarily a happy moment, but I feel compelled to give it to Kylie Masse. Kylie Masse finished 4th in the 10-meter platform dive event, and my heart breaks for her. This is her second 4th place finish at these Olympic Games, her 3rd in the last 2 games. We spoke to her last week. She was heartbroken over the first 4th place finish of these games and seemed to be in good spirits heading into today. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. She was very emotional afterwards. Again, my heart goes out to her, and I hope she is holding her head high, and I pray that she gets that medal come 2028. Be proud, Kylie. You did great, and we are proud of you here at Paris Tonight. Now, silver, it goes to Amit Alor. Amit Alor won a gold medal in the 68 kg freestyle wrestling event. She becomes, as a result, at just 20 years young, the youngest American wrestler to win a gold medal in that particular event. And what is so impressive about this is that everyone was predicting it. She was by far the biggest favorite. I was speaking to brilliant minds from the world of wrestling like Daniel Cormier, who told me this is a done deal. And she went out there and just absolutely smoked the competition. Her head coach, by the way, if you're a UFC fan, you'll recognize this name. It's Sarah McMahon, 2004 silver medalist, an eventual UFC title contender. She was by her side. Her mother was by her side. And Amit has an incredible story, and it's one filled with heartbreak as well. Unfortunately, around 6 years ago, her brother Oshri was murdered during a robbery attempt. Eventually, they were able to find the person who murdered him, and he was sentenced to life in prison, and rightfully so. And then, unfortunately, 2 years ago, her father Yair died unexpectedly, and they're still not quite sure what exactly happened. And so she was wrestling with a heavy heart, representing her family. Great that her mother was there by her side, and this is someone that we're going to be hearing about for many, many years to come. Several Olympics, I guarantee. Congratulations to Amit on her first gold medal. Now we'll go from the youngest wrestling champion to the oldest. What about Mian Lopez of Cuba? He wins his 5th gold medal tonight, just a few minutes ago, and he made all kinds of history. Number one, it's in the Greco-Roman 130 kg weight class. As a result, he has now won gold medal in 5 consecutive Olympics in the same event. No one has ever done that. And in any event, no one has ever won a gold medal in the same event 5 times at the Olympic Games. And he's the oldest to do it, 41 years of age. I mean, this guy's an absolute legend. And afterwards, he took off his wrestling shoes, he set them aside, and he walked off the mat. If you don't know what that signifies retirement. He is done. There's nothing else to do. Well done, Mian Lopez. Unbelievable achievement. All right, now we look ahead to tomorrow. My one thing to watch, we go back to the Eiffel Tower Stadium. Remember that amazing scene, beach volleyball? Remember we saw Team Canada beat the United States, punching their ticket to the quarterfinals? Well, we had some bad luck as far as quarterfinals are concerned today, but that won't be the case tomorrow. They're going up against Team Spain. It's a huge match. If they win, they get to the semis, and they've never been to the semis before. The team of Brandy Wilkerson and Melissa Jimena Paredes, they are taking the beach volleyball scene by storm. Big match tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, exclusively on CBC Gem. I'll be watching. I hope you will be as well. All right, we're out of time. It's quiet here. Time to go to bed. Enjoy your evening, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Bonne nuit from Paris.
Paris Tonight is brought to you by Smartwater.